and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, July 6th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a good week so far. It's the first week of July and the first week of the new quarter. So as always, we start our videos off with a look at the Russell Index, and for that we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And we've been keeping an eye on this wedge up here. These are the monthly candles. This is more longer term support resistance, this light blue line. We're just really paying attention to this wedge pattern that's shaping up here. So we've been noting that this sequence of candles prior to May didn't have much direction in them. The market for the most part was kind of trading sideways. Then we hit May with a red candle, followed by June with a white bullish orientation. And here we are so far for the month of July. Will July be the candle that decides this way or that way? We'll see. But worth noting that we're coming up to the top of this trend line. So the top of this trend line has been difficult for the Russell to get through all of these months. So that's why we're paying particular attention to it here in the month of July. So I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1 year weekly. Last week we had a doji, and so far I'm filming this at about 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. The futures look to be getting off to a red start, so I'll be extra cautious today. But price is up and over our blue 8-day EMA. We're approaching that black trend line. I want to see how price behaves here. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 3-month daily. We have price on the Russell up and over the blue 8-day EMA. So we will be putting a new chart forward this morning. And so with price up and over the 8-day EMA on the Russell Index, we are going to refresh an old Chart of the Day Cafe pick. It's one I put forward a long time ago. It is eBay Inc. Ticker symbol EBAY, trades on the NASDAQ exchange. Before I get into the chart, let me tell you a little bit more about eBay. eBay is a huge online marketplace. Everyone pretty much knows eBay. They match buyers and sellers in selling goods and services online. It currently has a nice high value score. First thing I look for at Chart of the Day Cafe, all of our picks must have two things, value and growth, and eBay has a nice value score. Second thing we look for is growth, and eBay has a current forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 17%. Third thing I look for, it's not a must like value and growth, is dividend yield, and eBay unfortunately does not have a dividend. But I wanted to refresh this chart. Should the markets continue higher, this is a really good looking chart to me. Current PE for eBay is 11.24. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart, so we're looking at the bigger picture. This green circle is where we put our video forward, Chart of the Day Cafe video forward on eBay. It had a beautiful run up from there. Came in, retested support, and then had this huge candle here. Now we're looking at monthly candles, and this is the area that we're in right here. So this candle provided the thrust to bring us into this area. There's no overhead resistance here. If eBay gets through this area and the markets continue higher, I call this sky is blue, no overhead resistance. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. It's consolidating here. You can see that. Trading in a sideways pattern. Excuse me. But if the Russell decides to break out of that wedge and go higher, and it can go either way. I'm not saying it's going higher. It could go higher. It could go lower. We're watching carefully. But if the Russell trades higher, it would make sense to me that eBay, with those scores and the seasonality and everything we're putting forward today, it would make sense to me that eBay would go higher as well. So we're keeping an eye on eBay, an old Chart of the Day Cafe pick. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 3-month daily. Doji yesterday in an interesting pattern. If the uptrend is going to continue, I would think it would have to continue pretty soon. So this is early. Remember, it's all about price moving up and over the blue. This is where we're interested. When it trades below, we are not. So I am looking, should the markets continue higher, I'm looking for eBay to trade up and over the blue. So early yet, we're putting it on our watch list and keeping an eye. Along with our new watch list pick, we also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're going over to XLK, which is the ETF for the technology sector. Beautiful uptrend on the 5-year chart. Want to note though that the candle for the month of June was a red one with volume, so we're going to be super careful in this area. But we've seen that happen before, a red candle followed by a bullish candle. So the uptrend may be over, but we will be able to tell pretty soon, I think. So overall, technology in an uptrend. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 3-month daily. This is an area of support. You can kind of see that. Actually, let's pull it into the 6 months so you can better see. So if I were drawing support, I would say this is an area that would provide it. And we had a candle yesterday that suggested that it might respect this area of support. It's all about price moving up and over that 8-day EMA though. It's way too early, but I'm watching technology carefully for some direction. If it moves up and over the 8-day, that'll be interesting. There are a lot of great memes that are maybe on sale here. Having said that, the futures are off this morning, so keeping an eye today. We also like to take a look at seasonality, and for that we go over to equityclock.com. Great site, Equity Clock, and we like to see seasonality for our watch list picks. Here's the seasonal chart for eBay. You can see that in the months of June and July it starts to come into some seasonal favor and has that favor with it through the back half of the year. No guarantee that happens this year, but always nice to know. We also like to go over to FinViz. I love FinViz. If you scroll down, you can see how analysts feel about your chart pick. These are favorable, mostly buy and outperform. A series of really nice articles. I'm going to include this one with today's video, Motley Fool. Will 2017 be eBay's best year yet? We will see. So we've got favorable analyst coverage and seasonality, all good things. And so to summarize, let's go back and check the boxes for eBay. We're revisiting eBay. It's an old chart of the day cafe pick. We started today's video with a look at the Russell Index. We note we've been keeping an eye on that wedge. The Russell is in an overall uptrend. However, it's been trading in a somewhat sideways price pattern within that wedge on the monthly chart, but is currently up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart. So when price is up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily, we are putting new names forward for our watch list. We looked at the sector that eBay's in, XLK, and we note that XLK, the ETF for the technology sector, is in an uptrend on the 5-year chart. We did note, though, the candle for last month was a red one. We need confirmation on that candle. It could go up or down. We're aware of that and we're watching carefully. eBay is in an uptrend on the 5-year chart and at an area of possible price strength continuation. Emphasis on possible. It's all about price staying up and over that blue 8-day EMA. eBay has a great value score and it's got a good growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 17%. Does not pay dividends, so that box is not checked. It does not have a 3 and 8 EMA cross, which I look for, so not checking that box. Seasonality in its favor, yes. Seasonality is kicking in soon. Analyst support, yes. Sky is blue. We looked at the chart and we note that if eBay moves higher from here, it's at an area where there's no overhead resistance. It's never been higher. Sky is blue. PE currently of 11.24, and it looks as though earnings are on July 20th. Hope you enjoyed today's video, revisiting eBay, an old chart of the day cafe pick that still looks good today. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning prior to 9:30. If you like receiving them, please subscribe to our channel by hitting the red subscribe button on our YouTube homepage. With that, I'll leave you. Have a great weekend, and we'll put our next video out next Tuesday. Thanks, everyone.